What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I didn't expect to make a second video today, but we got some breaking news regarding the NHL All-Star Game that I think is absolutely fantastic. If you know my thoughts on the NHL All-Star Game, I think it's been broken for a couple years. I think going to 3-on-3 was the right format, but none of the players tried. None of the players care. The game itself is absolutely broken, so what do you got to do? You got to do some stuff around the game, potentially, because you're never really going to get the guys to actually try. And what they announced today is an NHL All-Star Player Draft. I love this. I love this. For those of you guys that don't know what this means, basically there's going to be 4 captains. Let me pull up the Chris Johnson tweet so you guys get a better idea. There's going to be 4 captains that will choose their teams with the help of a celebrity co-captain. So basically like Bieber and Matthews, Crosby and The Weeknd, they're going to be drafting on that Thursday night of All-Star Weekend, kind of to kick off All-Star Weekend. Instead of having the division teams, which is just boring as hell, you're going to have this fun event on Thursday night of like 2 hours of just NHL players shooting the shit, hanging out on national TV in a draft. Who doesn't love a goddamn draft? I love a draft. So when looking at this, the expanded rules, yes, there'll still be the 44 players to choose from, making those perfect 3-on-3 teams. And as I said before, Bieber, Matthews, lock it up. And obviously in the past, they used to have this. They had this in 2011, 2013. I somewhat remember it. I was born in 2000, and I don't even fully remember this. Probably most of you guys don't even remember this. I got a pretty young audience. So when looking at this in the past, it was exciting, but it was only 2 teams. So in looking at the potential of you having 4 teams now, 4 different captains to choose from, instead of just picking back and forth, having a 4-team thing is going to be really exciting in terms of programming this. I still think the game itself, it's going to be kind of boring because, again, players aren't going to be going balls to the wall, risking their entire season for a goddamn all-star draft. But I think it's going to provide some really interesting content for the NHL and some exciting content that the All-Star Weekend as a whole has kind of been lacking. Remember, 2015, Ovechkin kept on saying he wanted to be last because whoever got drafted last, he ended up going, I think, 3rd to last, so he didn't get his wish. But this is going to be great. It's going to be a good exposure for NHL players' personalities, and it's going to be fascinating to watch, like, will Austin Matthews, if he's a captain, will he select the Boston Bruin? Will he select the Montreal Canadian just to get the best possible team? Or will he just draft his boys and some of his American boys? There's a lot of dynamics that go into this. So overall, will this massively change All-Star Weekend in terms of the game itself? I don't think it's going to massively impact people's efforts in the game, but I think it's going to be really cool. And something that they also announced that I think is fantastic and is really going to help the All-Star Game is they're going to have the PWHL have a 3-on-3 showcase during the All-Star Game weekend. I'm not sure exactly when that's going to be, but that'll be actually like cocky where people will actually try. When looking at the PWHL, that is going to be really exciting. They'll probably keep the 6 different teams and just send the best 8 or 9 players on that team. That's going to be exciting. That's going to be the best in the world actually trying because they're going to be on this national stage. So I think that's really going to help ease some of the game problems that occur with the NHL All-Star Game when the players don't try that much. If you have a product where these women are going absolutely balls to the wall, I'll be watching that. I will definitely be watching a best on best, basically like the Olympics, but 3-on-3 fun at the All-Star Game. I personally proposed this last year. I said that there should be some type of USHL, CHL showcase game. I said it wasn't feasible draft schedule-wise. That's probably still the case. But I think the PWHL filling that gap, I think that was before the PWHL even existed. The PWHL coming in and doing something like that is going to be very beneficial for their league and honestly just give us better hockey than what the current All-Star Game is. I think in terms of the All-Star Game, they got to improve the skills showcase. Some of the things that they were doing last year was so brutal to watch. Get rid of their version of the dunk contest, the shootout shit. That's not cool. It's not funny. It's boring as hell. It was cool when it was Ovechkin and Crosby and Ovechkin's kid, but most of the time it's utter crap. Just make it basic hockey skills, best of best skills, skating, shooting, all that stuff. Stick to the basics. Accurate shot, fastest skater. Those are fun to watch. When you get too cute with it, it's not enjoyable. It's just boring and just fluff. So overall, I think if they have this draft, have skills competitions that actually like demonstrate the best players in cool different ways, and then have the 3-on-3 tournament with those drafted teams, some of those dynamics that come from the drafted teams, and have the PWHL actually give us people really trying and playing hockey. I think you could have a decent All-Star weekend. You're never going to get the actual 3-on-3 game. I hate when people are like, we need to get people to actually try. You're never going to get the actual NHL players to try. If I was an NHL player, I would not be going balls to the wall, risking blowing out my knee or hitting someone full speed in order for a goddamn NHL All-Star game. You're not going to put up a $50 million prize for the NHL All-Star game to incentivize these players, or like $10 million. So when looking at that, I think that these are very good changes for the All-Star game, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how it goes. I wasn't planning on attending or even going to the city when the All-Star game happened because my experience was so bad last year in South Florida. I'm interested. Now. I might head to Toronto, even if I don't go to the actual game or the skills competition. Just see the overall event. I think people are going to be buzzing, and the fact that it is Toronto, kind of the hockey mecca, it's going to be really cool. But let me know in the comments, what do you think about these additions, both the player draft in the PWHL 3-on-3 showcase? It's promising. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I am actually looking forward to this year's All-Star game, and I have not said that in a while at this point. So it's definitely exciting, but I want to hear from you guys, and I'll see you next time.